So do you like someone who can give banter as much as they can take it?
Listen, I'm like king of banter.
Bold statement.
What?
I'll tell you if
Do
you
you
king
like
of
banter?
Yeah, I love banter.
Sick, innit?
Give me one thing great that happened this week.
I got a new TV.
Oh
I got
my
a new
God, what
Netflix
size?
account.
You got a 75
inch joint.
Wait, the Netflix is a huge new thing.
Oh, yeah,
Except
it's
you won't watch
amazing.
any of the shows I'm offering.
He's rich
Dude,
now.
there's so much talent
I told
on
him to
Netflix.
watch Running Point. He looked me in the eye and said, I'm not going to watch that, Jessica.
Why?
Oh, yeah. He does what he wants, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. So you got Netflix and a 75-inch. I didn't know you were making money like
bro.
that.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, tax season, my tax refund hit, bro. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
nice.
Right to the direct deposit, bro.
That's
the
huge.
balance.
That's
The balance
huge,
is up
huge.
now.
Good week for me. I don't know. I was really busy.
Yeah, but you had a cool strategy guy talk to you.
Oh yeah, I met this CEO. I did like a crash course master's degree in C-suite communications.
Mm-hmm.
This dude was like 10 years on Wall Street, and he's been a CEO for the past 20, buying and selling companies.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like talking through private equity firms and the different ways you need to talk with their C-suite or CFO, CEO, CIO, CRO. What kind of
So many acronyms.
I know. Well, it's like it matters if they're in charge of finance or
Yeah.
if they're in charge of procurement or if they're in charge of research.
Yeah.
And you're gonna like walk by them 1 minute you have to say something because they're busy. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, even if they're interested, email this guy or my team is on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, here's how you
Make an impact. to
stay
this,
with
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. So yeah, I guess good. Other than that, I was just really busy.
Well, that's
Yeah, it was
awesome. And something great that's happening is March Madness.
cool. Oh yeah, okay. That's
Come
good.
on.
Yeah.
It's the best when you got a 75-inch TV to watch
Yeah.
it, bro.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. We're
Yeah, and
coming
it
up.
was I think the playing games were really exciting to watch. The round of 64, there are some good games in there personally for me, I think, but I actually thought it was kind of not as great as it usually is.
Not as many Cinderella stories. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've been blessed the past couple of years. I think there was a 16 seed one over Virginia. Was there another one last year?
There might have been a couple, in the last 5
Like
or 6
Tennessee's
years.
always number one. They never like
There
get
was a
through.
major Houston as a 2 seed loss, I think, at one point.
But like Vegas is just like we have odds like Colorado State was favorited
As
an underdog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's well, we'll get into.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to jump in, or are we doing a top 5?
No, we're gonna do a special edition
Okay.
top 5, and it's gonna be top 3 between Luke and Avery,
Okay.
the top 3 most legendary March Madness players.
So we're only gonna go 3.
Yep.
And it's just Abe and I. Okay.
And I want you to talk about it. We're gonna do 3, so you have time to explain to the viewers.
I understand.
the
I just
situation.
feel like it's advantage Abe here.
Avery's like, I got 5
I
right
got
now.
18 loaded right
So
now. I got the
yeah,
cup is full.
So here's the thing that makes it tough. Like I feel like I have a good pulse on like legendary NCAA players.
Uh-huh.
But if we're talking March Madness in particular,
The madness.
it maybe gets a little trickier. But I mean, it is what it is.
I do have
Yeah,
like the
what it
top
is.
5 that like was ranked, so I can give it to you after. if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
happen to miss
afterwards.
one.
Afterwards, I want to see where we
See.
rank up,
Yeah.
how we stack up to that. Do you want to go first? I'll give you that. I'll give you that much of a...
If you're gonna take who I think you're gonna take first, you can go first.
Okay, well, I'm going to take who you think I'm going to take
Oh, yeah,
first.
do it because I'm not gonna take them. But
Okay.
if you just pull someone else out,
Yeah,
I did this. I'm like, okay.
So I'm going to go with the 2-time NCAA champ, more famous for his 2014 run, but Shabazz Napier, UConn Hall of Fame if he's not there yet. My favorite player from UConn, the illustrious university that it is. Just absolute fantastic run. I was watching highlights of him yesterday. I sent it to my brother. Me and my brother were in his biggest fan club when he was at the university. But Shabazz Napier is my number 1 pick for this top 3.
That's a great first pick. That alone might see. Like I don't even have winners here. That's the thing. I'm thinking like, oh well, who won? You're Shabazz Napier winning 2, and also
Yeah.
like being an iconic. Like you remember that
Mhm.
nostalgically is great. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go with This is a good one. This has just hit me. What is his name?
Speak.
Brad Stevens.
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Gordon Hayward. The reason I'm gonna go Gordon
Came
Hayward
super
and Butler
close, yeah.
is because he went crazy. Did they make it to the finals?
They made it to the final.
Yeah, and then there was a
Duke.
buzzer beater
Yeah.
and Duke half court shot. I mean, that Butler team, the only people you remember, well, maybe not you, the only people remember are Brad Stevens because he was a great coach who ended up with the Celtics. Now he's the GM, and Gordon Hayward. So I'm going to go
He had a really
Gordon.
good point guard too that played in the NBA as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Gordon Hayward as my number one legendary March Madness. I guess I have to go back to back.
You do have to go back to back.
All right. I think one of these people are going to end up being in the honorable mention, but he keeps popping up. I'm still going to leave him off, though, and I'm going to go with Steph Curry with Davidson.
Yes,
I think he
absolutely.
was already, making news because of his shooting, but he carried. I don't know that he got, I think maybe Elite Eight, maybe even just Sweet 16.
It didn't matter.
But it was the
He
way
came
he
over,
was
yeah.
doing it was insane. Again, another small school that won their conference to get in,
Mhm.
and then
He is on the top 5.
okay,
And
huge.
he's his note is took a small school to the Elite 8 while dropping 30 plus
Elite
a
Eight.
game.
Yeah, nice. Okay, happy.
I'm surprised you didn't call out this guy, but he was a freshman
Oh.
from the DMV area. Went to a school in upstate New York
Okay.
with the Orange. But Carmelo Anthony took
Yeah.
his team
That's obviously
to
the
an
answer.
NCAA championship. I know he's got to be on the
He's
top.
He's
another
number
one.
one.
So Steph was
Yeah.
4, Carmelo was 3.
Whoa. Okay, yeah.
He
I thought
led
she was about to lift off the
Syracuse
whole
to a
list.
title as a
Yeah.
freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
a good one.
Barmelo's Anthony for sure is up there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's me again. Oh, it's me again.
Your last one.
Well, and then
I don't know if I want to go for the top 5, which is annoying. I don't want to go with the people's top 5. This is my
Oh
top
yeah,
5.
yeah. That's fine.
So this
just so
is
happened.
another one that's from the illustrious University of Connecticut. And Kemba
Kemba
Walker, that 2011 run. So I'm going to go with the conference tournament run as
The
well.
crossover.
Yeah, where he
conference,
dropped
right?
off, I don't even know, McGee from Pittsburgh. That was like my sister's freshman year at Pittsburgh, so I'll roast her for that forever.
Yeah.
And he drops him off. I think that's a semi, so it wasn't even the final, but he drops him off and hits a step back cardiac Kemba for the win there. That was just awesome. And then he went on that insane NCAA tournament run. So that'll conclude my top 3 there.
Yeah, he was number 1 on the
wow, really?
Kemba
yeah.
was?
Yep, 2011 carried
Okay.
UConn to a title with an unreal tournament
Yeah.
run.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, I lose. I think.
Shabazz wasn't
I
on
might
that
as- I might as well talk through people I'm thinking. So I'm thinking Anthony Davis because I know he had that one
Yeah.
year where he had more blocks than like any other team in the country,
He's on the
and I
list.
believe they were undefeated and won the national championship.
I think they
or
lost
had
in
one
the
loss or something.
they lost in the conference finals for their tournament.
Okay. Another person is Jimmer Fredette.
Yeah.
But kind of along the lines of the Steph Curry one.
Right.
Didn't win.
Set the
So
game
like,
on fire. Yeah, changed
yeah.
the game.
but like an amazingly iconic.
So who are you going to go with, though?
Yeah. Buddy
Is it-
Hield is another one I'm thinking of, but I think he was more of just like insane to watch at Oklahoma,
Right.
not necessarily March Madness. I'm going to go with Anthony Davis.
He's on the top 5 for sure.
I don't know.
That's
I don't
who I
think-
would have went with.
I don't think he is,
He's-
but
he's
I
up
just
there.
know he was incredible at Kentucky. He got drafted after his freshman year, right?
Yeah.
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 So I'm going to go Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis is on that list.
So I just looked at a few. So by the way, this is just like a condensed list. I just was tired of looking at everything, so I asked ChatGPT just take all of them and just put your top 5. So these change because like I just looked at one that's up to date and Cooper Flag's number 1.
That's
So-
awful.
Well, he's never played in the March
Right.
Madness.
So, literally. But I actually like this list. That's why I was going off of it. So they have the ones you did not get were Christian Leitner.
Yeah, that was obvious. I didn't want to say Christian
Duke.
Leitner. I mean, I like
hit
Duke, but
the shot versus Kentucky.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
And then you
White
guys
guy.
did great. And then the only other one was what they put number 5, Magic Johnson. Beat Larry Bird in one of the most watched NCAA games ever.
Yeah,
That's
really
cool.
Especially because they played each other from
That is cool.
Yeah.
We both-
Indiana State versus Michigan State.
Yeah.
They both stayed in their hometowns. They played
Fun.
for
Do you know
their
the
college
date?
universities. 1983, 81,
No.
No, 70s.
79.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're both freshmen, and it was awesome.
They're both freshmen? Wow.
I think.
I didn't realize how close. They went a couple times. That they were rivalrous almost because they had a maybe it was just because of that one game, but they were rivalrous before the Lakers Celtics rivalry. Like Bird and Magic as rookies were already
because of that built in.
But just the one game.
I think so. I mean, they're just the two best players in the country. They
But
didn't play each other until
in the
finals.
70s, Indiana State and Michigan State could be playing each other a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like they have private jets.
I just feel like that was
that's what I'm saying.
prime time, like high
No,
subs.
I'm saying they wouldn't play each other because they weren't in the same conference. They wouldn't play each other until the tournament.
You think?
Yeah.
You don't think back then, like
They had, like,
Indiana and
primetime
Michigan
games?
being not that it's prime time, but like it's a bus.
It's
trip
not too
away.
far. Yeah.
Like that's an easy non-conference game to play.
I don't know if it's an easy bus trip. That's like a 10-hour bus trip right there.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
But they
whatever.
were in the same conference. Like Michigan State's probably in like the Big Ten or something. Indiana State was probably in a smaller conference. So
I just feel like basketball was thriving at this time.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. And then, like, that just was a built-in rivalry for the pros. You know, one on each coast with Larry in Boston and Magic in LA. Like, it was just, like, so good for TV.
Yeah, they added to the legend of those franchises, but they were already two big franchises, which is sweet. Okay, let's just keep it rolling with March Madness then, I guess. Recording still going? Beautiful.
You gotta ask every segment.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll maybe explain or not. So, as Jessica alluded to, no like major Cinderella stories that caught my eye. The couple of upsets that were interesting, I would say, was the Clemson loss to McNeese. Although, if you saw the McNeese manager, he's got the boombox. He's sick. Have you seen that, Jessica? There's the is he Indian? I guess.
I don't even know what he is.
I have seen it.
He's kind of Windian. But I've seen him before, like throughout the season. I didn't realize it was McNeese.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I've seen it. Once I saw it, I was like, oh, duh.
Yeah.
How did I not remember? But I would have put more investment into that game
Same.
if I realized
If
who
we
it was.
really-
If you understood. Did you know that Will Wade is the coach of McNeese State too? Like he's
Did you know I don't know who Will Wade is?
He's coached at LSU. Like he's coached at big school. He's coached at LSU. Like
Oh,
he's
wow.
coached at huge schools.
I did not know that.
And he's
at
a
all.
really good coach. So like it makes sense why
I
they're doing
think
so
that
well.
in March Madness, I think at this level, they all made it there for a reason. So we can take that away for a second. The locker room matters a lot.
Oh, 1,000%.
And that locker room is just like vibing.
Vibe City.
Yeah.
That's
Apparently,
he might
Tennessee
make
has a
that-
very good locker room too.
I'm thinking that guy makes the thumbnail. Thoughts?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can get him on the boombox.
1,000,000%.
They have like a decked out boombox now, which is funny. I like how it's the old school too. It's not
Yeah.
like
And they
a
love
speaker.
him.
They
Like
do.
he's
the glue
rapping,
guy, dude, yeah.
and they're like smiling
Yeah.
ear to ear,
Yeah.
looking at him.
It reminds me of who's our the Eagles.
Big Dom.
No. I
The
can't think of his
Eagles guy?
name.
Oh, Gilly?
Yeah, Gilly.
Oh, yeah.
Just got really good energy and like brings everybody together, and they're just having so much fun out there. Like they're in the prime of their lives. They're playing college basketball with their best friends, and
Isn't that the name of the game?
Yeah, the biggest tournament of their lives. They're just in there having a ball, which is awesome.
Vibing.
And they're making money, dude. He's got an NIL deal.
Yeah. He's the only manager in the country with an
Ever,
NIL deal.
yeah.
I'm gonna search him while you guys are talking. I'm gonna find some details on
Amir Khan.
him.
Yeah.
Dude, somebody pulled it up, and there's a backyard sports character named Amir Khan. And they're like, I knew you were from somewhere.
Yeah, and he's into music.
Huh?
Amir Khan.
Is
He has a headset on
Yeah?
in backyard. I promise, I'm not
dude,
making that
sports
up.
imitate life. That's amazing.
Yeah, and there's also Ahmed Khan. He has a twin brother in backyard.
Ahmed.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, McNeese. That was the only major upset from day one. There were some lower seeds that beat higher seeds, but I wouldn't say they were like
Honestly,
major upsets. by
That
any
Colorado
means.
State versus Memphis as well, because I had Memphis going far. They had just won their conference tournament, and I had full confidence in Penny Hardaway that this was the year, and they flopped very, very hard in the first round.
So full transparency, I was going to say that, but that was day two, so I was just giving it a breather. But what Colorado State was actually favored by
Yeah.
1.5. So I see what you're saying, but again, like in theory, I wouldn't call that a major upset.
Got you.
I don't think.
Well, it upset my bracket.
Yeah,
so-
it
and
upset
me.
majorly
Yeah.
upset me. But what I was going to get at there was the major teams: Houston, Auburn, Tennessee, St. John's, Gonzaga, Creighton, all walk away with wins. Michigan, Michigan State, and those were all the higher seeds. So no major Cinderella story from day one. Creighton, your team, you have going to
Yes,
the Final
sirski.
Four. they handled Louisville pretty easily. I mean, I know easily, but they played well. Louisville was a team I thought could be sneaky just based on their ACC play. They ended up playing really well towards the end of the season. Played in the conference championship, I believe.
I think semi.
They lost to Clemson then? No, I think they beat Clemson in the semis. Okay. Yeah. So I believed in Creighton because you believed in Creighton. I trust you, but I was like, oh, that might be the most exciting first game. But Creighton ended up bullying them.
Yeah, I mean, Mike was giving me flack for picking Creighton, but I've watched a lot of Big East basketball this year with my team being UConn, and they've been playing them twice a year. Yeah, and like Fox Sports is just like that's the channel I'm watching if I'm watching college ball. So I've seen a bunch of these Creighton games, and they're so well balanced, and they have a great coach in Greg McDermott. You saw him when he was coaching his son back in the day, still at the same school at Creighton. They play really, really good offense, and they're locked in and they're focused on defense, but they've got great balance. They've got Ashford, the white point guard, can shoot the three, gets everybody in order. He runs the show for them. And then they got Jeremiah Neal, some athleticism. I think he had like 30 in that game against Louisville. And then they got Kaltenbrunner at the center spot. He's like 6'11". He's pretty mobile. He's got a great touch around the basket.
I thought he was like 7'2" for some reason.
He might be. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he was like huge.
He's like 7'5" in shoes now.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Kaltenbrunner.
Good luck.
This Creighton center, 7 foot.
So my thing with Creighton feels pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But I'm like, too many whites. You don't feel that way?
I do feel that way, but it's tough to get the boys out there in Omaha, Nebraska. Like they've got Warren Buffett.
7'1".
7'1".
Yeah, 7'1". Okay. They got Warren Buffett and not much else out there in Nebraska. So it's like, how do you get recruits to play there? But they figured it out, Yeah. They've had tournament runs, as we've been talking about previously. Like, they've had tournament runs where they've gone deep. And
you got to find the exciting whites.
Exciting whites. They got a built-in one when you have a coach-son duo. So, I mean, recruiting can't be...
Your hand went up.
Yes.
It did go up, but I was letting Avery finish.
Right.
I just got some necessary stats so we can get excited for Amir Khan in our next game, okay? His nickname is known as The Aura.
The Aura, okay.
Okay, he was a huge LSU fan, which is super cool for the coaching.
Oh, yeah?
Because he totally knew him.
Yeah.
And he said, like, what makes him so great? And he's like, when it gets wet on the court, like, I'm so fast.
Yeah, I saw that actually.
So he put up Walt Chamberlain numbers.
His quote is, if they kept manager stats for rebounding and wiping up wet spots on the court, I'd put up Wilt Chamberlain numbers.
Yeah, I love
that.
That's
in his bio.
It's so funny. I heard him verbalize that too, but it's like he's getting all this fame for this like niche little cool. I love it too. I don't mean to belittle it,
I think this is like the a good end story. What is it called? What do we do?
I don't know what you're talking
about. The last, like our 3 minute, 10 whatever drill, 1 minute drill.
Well, we're talking about it now.
We are talking about it now. This is like a good silent banter team one.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What? Our at the end when we
our 2 minute
drill.
2 minute drill. Yeah, okay. But he in the interview, he's talking about how good he is at his job. Yeah. And I was like, that's funny. Like, you could talk about, I've always loved rap music, so I really bonded with the guys because there was just one rapper from my hometown, whatever. But he's like, I wiped the shit out of the floor.
No, he's a really good manager, and he's getting his degree in sports management, and the coach was...
He's like the water boy. Yeah. He's like the water boy, Bobby Boucher.
What a great start to your career.
That's what I'm saying, but like everybody wants to talk to Bobby Boucher about how great he is as a linebacker. He's like, that's some high quality H2O.
This guy's going to like get with a professional team and run like the management of that. Imagine how like he's going to be like, you understand, like that's not good enough. And he's going to be speaking from...
He's going to be a GM.
Yeah. Oh.
That's what I think, and then we're gonna make a movie out of it.
The Aura.
Yeah. Anyway, day 2, nice. Abe, was I think a lot of the
Shot
same.
A little bit,
we saw Florida, we saw Duke, we saw Alabama all win. Kentucky won. Iowa State won. Good. Yeah, Duke and Florida really, really dominated. Maryland dominated Grand Canyon, which Maryland's a good team. I was still surprised to see them win by almost 40 points. Grand Canyon, obviously a smaller school, but they've been in the tournament a handful of times, right. So. Still, I mean, good for Maryland. I'm not exactly sure who they play next.
Maryland?
Yeah.
They're playing Colorado State.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be good. Colorado State beat Memphis, as we already talked about. That was yesterday as well. Mm-hmm.
I'm sort of like looking at the times too. And I don't know. I have this This did not go well the first time, but I do have this conspiracy thing on my mind. So just to explain it really quick, I was listening to a lot of ESPN this week, and Seth Greenberg started talking about conspiracies, and I was like, what is he talking about? And it wasn't about like the Earth's flat, obviously. It was about
in case you're wondering.
It was more in relation to like the NCAA conspiracies of like gaining more viewership and kind of playing around with different teams and on this thing. Anyway, now I'm looking. Colorado State, Maryland. Luke just goes, it's a good game. It's at 7:10 tomorrow. Like that's a prime time to be playing a game.
Yeah.
Versus like a Florida UConn is in during, that's at like noon. I don't know.
But it's Florida UConn's the best game.
It's also
my
Sunday
question
too.
is like, do you think? Okay.
So I would say no. That's proof
of
that there's no conspiracy.
And I think they just scheduled the games. I don't think they scheduled the season.
I'm gonna keep investigating this.
Okay. I don't think there's.
They're also probably playing on the West Coast. So this UConn versus Florida game is probably on the East Coast.
Fine. There's nothing with the times.
And I think if you want to call it conspiracy, not that you are, but people are, you should call that out before the tournament starts.
He did.
My argument would, I know, but you have to be like, this team should have been seated here because of this reason. And so if you can do that, then you have the argument to say they chose not to do that because they want this matchup.
Like he said, Michigan's point guard is now with Auburn.
Well, that's players moving teams.
You gotta tell the story, I don't mind it. It's like
we'll figure it out.
Even if they did it, it's like you gotta tell the stories and like have them play each other. But I still think it was evenly ranked. Like they just put the games together.
Yeah,
they seated everybody correctly.
No conspiracy with the NCAA.
No, Seth
March
Greenberg,
Madness.
he's great, but they got to talk about something, and I guess that's exciting. But I mean,
well, to be fair, that was on the Pat McAfee show, and Pat was like really asking. He was like, "Wait, what do you mean? What do you talk? Like you keep saying, like he would say a point and then be like conspiracy, and then keep going. He's like, what? Hold on.
Let me go back to that.
Yeah.
I don't see conspiracy. But anyway, Ole Miss beat North Carolina. That's a major bummer. Jessica and I had UNC in our Final Four. Now, let me
preface this.
Let me backtrack a little bit here. We all have our champions still in. If I have 3 out of my Final Four, I'll still be happy.
Clemson took a lot of people out too.
I'm not upset, but and especially I double checked. North Carolina had been dominating teams the past 7 games, I would say, except for Duke. But nobody's really beating Duke, and they gave them a good run. So my thought is, different side of Duke or different side of the bracket than Duke. Not that that's the only team that can beat them, but they had, who else was in there? I forget who they're 1 and 2. I felt like they could get out of it. I think they had Michigan State, maybe Florida. No, not Florida, because that's who I have UConn beating. Anyway,
what was your question? I have it up.
Just what side of the bracket was
the 1 and 2 seed with UNC. I just felt confident that they could get through it, but irregardless,
it'd be Michigan State and Auburn in that bracket.
Yeah. So I was wrong, unfortunately. And so was Jessica.
I was wrong. And my thought process was no good, but I don't care because it's the March Madness tournament.
Nothing makes sense for this tournament at all.
I just heard this coach talk and I like it.
But they're an 11 seed. I thought that's a good team. Like when UConn won as an 8 seed or something like that.
Shabazz.
I thought it was
I think it's 7.
An opportunity to, not pick a 1 seed to come out of a side. Ole Miss looks great though, particularly in the first half. UNC almost came back. They looked great in the second half. They just couldn't put enough together to win the game. They
actually watching the end of that, it was really frustrating because they were just not making any shots, but they totally could have made that into interesting game.
It just had no legs. Like when you get down by 22, you have to exert so much energy just to get back into the game, and then those last 5 minutes, like you're just spent. You got nothing left.
Yeah, it's tough to score.
Throw in that guy who's on the bench. Give him his time.
Who hasn't played all season.
Yeah, so
your time to shine, brother.
Not to dive into the major games too much because, as we mentioned, there were a lot of blowouts from the big teams, the Dukes, the Floridas, all that. But so 2 more games that were competitive and surprised me a little bit. We'll anchor with your UConn, Oklahoma, but Illinois over Xavier. That wasn't so exciting necessarily, but I was very impressed with Illinois, and since then I've actually heard a lot of good things about them. So is that a team you're interested in as a 6 seed moving forward at all? Or?
Yeah, so I picked them actually to go pretty far. I got them in my Elite 8.
Okay.
They have this transfer from what school did he transfer from? I don't know, but he's a big man and he can move and he's real good. And so like I did have them moving.
Yeah, they handled Xavier, who's a good
Xavier's solid. Yeah, the
yeah.
Big East. Yeah. So I was all over Illinois for this tournament. I got them beating Kentucky in the next round.
Oh wow,
and
nice.
Moving on. So
yeah, and so then the last game that's been played so far, UConn, Oklahoma. I know you were happy to see UConn win.
Yes,
obviously,
Sirsky.
I have them in my Final Four, so I'm happy to see them win.
Yeah.
They beat Oklahoma. I want to feel like I should be. That's my football team.
Yeah.
I don't really care basketball wise. So yeah, UConn advances. They play Florida. So that's a tough next game. That's tomorrow or tonight?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, because they played last night. We have to shout out UConn though. 13-game winning streak in the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
Hasn't been seen since the likes of UCLA in the. Well, I think maybe Florida did it because they won back-to-back as well. But 13.
I feel like 13 should happen anytime you've won 2 in a row.
Well, I mean, imagine if you lose all those guys like they're seniors.
Oh
like,
yeah, true.
So 13 in a row, gone for 14 against Florida. But yeah, this is a historic run from Dan Hurley and the boys. He's doing it with new players every year as well. I mean, some players are consistent. Like we got Samson Johnson, Caravan. But it's crazy that the rotation of players have come in and done so well so far for Dan Hurley.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to move forward.
Me too. And talking about Jessica's little conspiracy matchup thing, I'm still out on the conspiracy. I'm more so it's just the good teams that are left.
Yeah.
Today's slate looks incredible. There's 2 that are like, I could do without. The rest are awesome. So one game actually on right now, McNeese Purdue, which I'm excited to watch. But that's one of my lower ones.
Yeah.
That actually counted as who cares one.
Yeah.
And then there's Drake against Texas Tech, which again
Drake
could be fun. That 11 seed Drake, I could see beating Texas Tech, and then 11 seed wins 2 games. That's fun. But listen to the rest of this: Arkansas, St. John's.
Yes.
So Arkansas just beat Kansas, and then you have the Calipari Pitino matchup. So you want to give some background on that relationship?
Yes. So Pitino is actually the first guy to give Calipari a shot at Massachusetts. So he was, brought up to coach on his staff then, and you've seen the run that Calipari's been on since then. They both coached at Kentucky, both had illustrious runs at that university, both won national championships for that university. And just another major matchups in all the Italian households throughout the world.
Yeah, now they're both graying. And it's funny. It's a cool little arc, but there's like a ton of pictures of them together throughout the years coaching, and now they're going against each other. So
and both in like Arkansas is Calipari's first year there, and the second year for Rick Pitino at St. John's. So both pretty new to these programs, and leading them into the round of 32, and one of them is going to advance to the round of 16 or the Sweet 16. So it's pretty crazy. They're both 2 Hall of Fame, like maybe Mount Rushmore coaches of college basketball of all time. So.
Yeah. So that's a matchup today at 2:40.
Matchup.
We won't dive into every single one that deeply, but just listen to the rest of the slate. So then you have Michigan, Texas A&M, Creighton, Auburn, which is huge for you.
Yeah, go Creighton, go Blue Jays.
You have BYU, Wisconsin, Gonzaga, Houston, and UCLA, Tennessee.
Banger.
So those are all big games. Obviously, they will be on all day.
Is Boswell your Illinois transfer?
Maybe. I have no idea. I'm not good with names. Is he the leading scorer on that team?
If so, then yes.
Yes.
But just to wrap up college basketball, Sunday there's going to be UConn, Florida, Duke, Baylor, Kentucky, Illinois, Alabama, St. Mary's, Maryland, Colorado State, Iowa State, Ole Miss, Michigan State, New Mexico, and Oregon, Arizona. Ave, you have Houston winning it all, so you are still alive. Jessica, you have Alabama, so you are still alive. I have
They
Duke.
do not look good.
I have Duke. So I'm still alive, and Mike has Florida, if I'm not mistaken. So all
My
still
Final
alive.
Four is still okay, kind of.
Well, it's in theory, yes. We have 3 out of 4, but Ave and Mike have 4 out of 4, so we are in last.
UConn, and let's see what happens there.
Cool. All right, Ave. Anything else you wanted to add for college basketball?
Nothing more on college hoops. Just excited to get back home and put these on my TV and just lay on my couch all day.
Yeah, we gotta hurry.
Yeah, we're burning daylight here. All right, let's go. I guess keep it in basketball then, and we'll talk NBA briefly. The reason I think we can keep it brief is because not much has changed. Every time we talk NBA, it's the same story.
Playoffs are almost here.
Yeah, Shea is the MVP.
Yeah.
But Joker probably could be MVP.
He's having his best season ever,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Since we last spoke, it's been some time since this happened, but still worth noting because we didn't get to talk about it. But he had, I believe, the first ever 30-20-20 game in NBA history.
Did Russ? I know Russ had the 20-20-20. Is that just 2020?
I think
he
it was
didn't have
just
30
20
points. Okay.
I don't think he had 30.
Okay.
And then to follow that up,
Dude, in that game, he did a triple double in both halves as well.
yeah. Well, not both halves, but because it went to overtime. So you go to overtime, and then if you split that game in half, then he did it. Does that make sense? Because if you split the game in half and include overtime, then you have first quarter, second quarter, and like 4 or 5 minutes of the third quarter.
Okay.
And then you have third quarter, fourth quarter overtime as the second half. I don't think he had a triple double at halftime, is my point.
Really? I'm pretty sure he did.
Oh my gosh, that was loud.
I'm pretty sure he did.
I
may be wrong.
Either way, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think it was like time stamped half of the game.
Okay.
He did it.
That's maybe.
Either way, he had 30,
Either
20,
way,
20.
yeah, the numbers are incredible. If you're doing something that's never been done before,
Yeah.
you're in a category by yourself. You're doing something pretty right.
Yeah, and so to close up on the Joker thing, the kind of I don't want to be shrewd here, but the big dick moment of this.
I don't want to be sure in the big dick moment.
Yeah. So, but what was really cool was that MVP talk kind of started stirring up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like it was still he deserves it, but he's second because Shea's having such a good year.
Yeah.
They played OKC played Denver.
Yeah.
In 2 days from then.
Yeah.
And Joker went 35 and 18 and shot 75%, and they beat OKC. So it was kind of like.
Okay,
I'm still here.
Yeah, you still got Shea. I got you. I got something
you go
for
win
you.
your regular season games. I'm still here.
So, what are your thoughts now? Is it still Shea or is it Jokic?
So here's the thing. I know we've talked about how the NBA hasn't changed much since we keep covering it. It's kind of the same news.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say is, even though OKC is still number one in the West, they are now 12 and a half games above the 2 seed.
They clinched the first seed already.
That's insane.
Yeah.
They're 14 and a half games above the Denver Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
So I was definitely starting to lean, okay, I don't want to buy into the voter fatigue. I want to be true and honest. Joker's the MVP. But something about what Shea's doing, what are you going to do? His team doesn't lend to the ability to have a triple-double every game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he could. I don't know. But they win a ton of games.
It's not needed from them. And his stats are still 32.
Correct.
Yeah.
And not even not needed, but that's not the way the team operates.
Yeah.
That's not what the coach asks of him.
Yeah.
So I think I am very pro. You don't have to be the 1 seed. You can
win MVP,
you can still be valuable. But I think listen, I'm also very pro winning matters. At the end of the day, it's about winning.
It's got to be a player factor for sure.
And they have, I don't even know if we compare them to, well, they're only 2 games ahead of Cleveland.
Cleveland's having a fantastic year as well.
But it puts them 7 games even above Boston.
Yeah.
So, they're winning a ton, and it's obviously thanks to him.
Yeah.
So I think I still have SGA.
Still stand by SGA. It's just so crazy the predicament that Jokic has won 3 MVPs already, and this is his best season by far.
Yeah,
and he's not going to win it this year.
He might. If he won it, I wouldn't write to the voters and be like, "You're an idiot."
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, how do you not? He's going to average almost a 30-point triple.
He's going to be top 3
in every stat
in points, rebounds, and he's like top 5 in steals as well.
Yeah, it's incredible, and his 3-point percentage is like in the 40s this year. I think it's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a ridiculous basketball player.
Plus minus is the highest and then lowest in NBA history as far as on and off the court.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So, and then somehow I'm going to turn around and say SGA is the MVP.
I was going to say give me an MVP on the West and in the East, but they're both in the West. Mm-hmm. It's I don't know. You can go either way.
Yeah.
But
so anyway, other than that, you still have Cleveland, Boston, New York Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, Pistons on the East, which is kind of what it's been all year. Yeah. Magic are falling off. Heat are falling off after the Jimmy Butler trade.
That's rough for them.
Yeah. And then out West, you have OKC, as we mentioned, leading the pack by 12 and a half games. And you have Rockets, Lakers, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Warriors. Warriors have been on a tear. Not sure how the Grizzlies stick around. Every time I see
They're
them,
number 4, yeah.
they win by like 2 points
And, like,
if they win, and it's like 143 to 141.
I feel like Ja's lost his advertisement as like the face of the league. He's still having a solid season, but like he's not having the seasons he had before the suspension.
Yeah,
but his numbers are still looking good, and his team is.
They must have a good team. Like they must be well coached, or they have good luck. I don't know, but I agree with you. It's not like he's carrying them to.
And I feel like they're just not on TV as well.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's true.
that's the thing. And like the TV doesn't like ESPN doesn't cover them, I guess.
Yeah. And his inefficiency surprises me. Like he's good. He puts up numbers, but I would almost.
He's a shorter guard though. Like you're going to be inefficient being 6'1" and a league average is like 6'7", 6'8". So it's like.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is like the Grizzlies are, I guess, a legitimate 5 seed because it's not like John Morant's just out here
with like all
them.
these supers. Yeah, they're just
they're
playing great basketball. Yeah.
And then the Warriors, since getting Jimmy Butler, I'm not exactly sure what the record is, but in the last 10 games,
16-1 or
it's
something.
been about so more than 10, but they're 9-1 in their past 10.
Yeah.
So that's been a great trade for them. I think they're a 6 seed, so right now they don't have to do the playing game.
Mm-hmm.
They would match up against, I believe, the Lakers. I don't love that matchup for them, but if they avoid the Lakers throughout the playoffs, I think they have a good chance of winning. I mean,
I love the way that they're constructed after that trade. They just needed that fresh energy. Jimmy Butler's been phenomenal for them.
Yeah.
And Steph Curry's, he's got rejuvenated. He's got his energy. He's actually just got hurt a couple of games ago, but they've been playing great basketball. Draymond Green put up a game where he shot 14 threes. Recently.
Really?
He shot 14 threes. Steph was out.
Did he make any?
Yeah, I believe he made. So he had 21 points that game. So I think they're all threes. So I think he had 7 threes, 6 threes.
Insane.
Yeah, Draymond Green was putting up 14 threes, and they won the game. So they've been all playing very, very well.
I mean, it sounds like I'm at work now, but like that can't be. You cannot be.
You can't rely on Draymond Green.
14 threes every game.
It steps out, bro. Someone's got to shoot him.
Yeah, I guess that's how.
And they won the game. So like they're playing really, really good basketball, and it's that time of the season where you want to be playing your best basketball. So this is going to be a great run for the Western Conference playoffs. Are going to be crazy this year, as they usually are.
Yeah. There was one other thing you wanted to talk about NBA wise. Other than that, we're pretty good to wrap up. I don't know if you want to talk the LeBron injury that much, or
LeBron injury, his groin, he pulled it. LeBron's a superhuman though, so like I saw him running on the court, doing full sprints, doing dunking. So like he'll be back sooner than later. But it's been good for the Lakers because Luka Doncic can take the full helm of the team and get back into shape.
Bronny can play.
I mean, they got blown out that game, but Bronny had like 17, his NBA career high. But all the other players just Luka Doncic really can get back to speed because he was dealing with injuries pre-trade, but now he can run the team where it's just his now and get into his flow before the playoffs start, and then LeBron will sync up once he gets back from injury. Then they'll all be rolling. So I think it's a blessing in disguise.
Blessing in disguise
for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, so one thing I want to say, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast. I definitely was talking about it the other day, but Bronny, if you take a look at the people drafted in front of him and their statistics, both in the NBA
and the G League,
he's outperforming like most of the NBA draft.
Yeah.
Definitely the second rounders.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's averaging 21 in the G League, like 21, 6, and 5. But like even his NBA stats, they're like laughable.
Yeah.
Because it's like a point and a half or something.
He's playing in the worst situation.
It's still better than a ton of the NBA play, like the people who have gotten a quick opportunity in the NBA and are playing in the G League. So all that to say, there was a lot of what's the word? Not narcissism.
Nepotism. Nepo talk.
Nepo talk when he was drafted. And I'm sure there was, some of that, but he's performing at the very least to the standard of a 55th overall.
And you got to understand, like, he did literally die, and he only played like 9 or 10 games with USC.
Yeah.
So it's like he hasn't played basketball in a long while.
True.
Like, he's got to get his feet back under him. And he's doing that in the G League. He's killing out there. And, when he comes to the NBA, this last game he put up 17. So, like, it'll take time. He's an undersized guard in the NBA, but I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I do too. I hope he has at least an NBA career.
Me too.
So we got a lot to talk about, Abe. We got F1, Champions League, golf, baseball, hockey, NFL, all of it. I think we should just kind of go in order here.
Okay.
So let's talk F1 because we
Sirski.
kicked off in Australia last weekend.
Mate.
the sprint race for the Chinese Grand Prix was actually this morning, so we can talk about that briefly. But Lando Norris comes out with victory number 1 on the season. So I suppose that means McLaren is leading in points this year. Verstappen came in second, Georgie Russ in third, and then other than that, worth noting, I would say Hamilton, first race for Ferrari. I think he ended up in 10th. I think Ferrari started 7th and 8th or something along those lines. So he lost the position.
I think this is correct. It's Chinese Grand Prix right now, right?
That's this morning. We're talking about last weekend for now.
There were tricky weather conditions. There's actually like 2 or 3 rookies this year, so there were a decent amount of
the Red Bull rookie.
Liam Lawson. He's not a rookie. Like I believe he's been in Formula One before. But Liam Lawson's new to Red Bull. There's just a lot of new drivers and like names that I had never heard of before. So like I got to get used to these guys. But there were a lot of crashes in that Australian Grand Prix because, like I said, the weather was really, really tricky out there. Very, very slippery. But the big names did pull it off, and they finished that race. And we got Lando Norris, which is super exciting to see the young McLaren getting that first victory of the year. And I'm looking forward to the season.
Where did Piastri finish? Do you know?
I want to say he wasn't top 3. He might have been 4 then. I believe he was top 5, and that was his hometown race as well. He's from Australia.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I forgot
Jamie,
to write
can you look up the Australian Grand Prix results? I want to say he was top 5.
Okay. Yeah. So McLaren, good start for McLaren.
Yeah, definitely got a lot of points on the board in that one.
Yeah, a little bit more positive though for Hamilton and Ferrari.
Top 4.
Yeah, he was 4th.
He was 4th.
Yeah.
Hamilton wins the sprint race, so he will lead the race tomorrow morning. Oh, it
doesn't. Yeah, sprint race is just like complete outside of it. It's just like
extra points.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So he got 8 points for that win.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So when are qualifiers? Also today, or not qualifiers, but
is P1.
So, okay.
So they do qualifying after that, I guess. But sprint race is just like a 20 lapper around.
Yeah, no, you're right. I brain farted. I mixed the sprint race with the qualifying for the next.
Yeah, but they do qualify for the sprint race as well. So that's probably what you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he qualified P1 for the sprint race, and then he went out and won the sprint race.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. So do they have the poll for the big race for tomorrow?
Yes. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
You want the names or the people? Both.
No, just the drivers.
Okay, so it's Piastri, Russell.
Norris,
Norris, Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Isaac Hadgar.
That's a new name. I think
Hadjuk. Oh man, I don't even know who he's driving for. AlphaTauri.
AlphaTauri is Honda, I believe.
Yeah, and then Anatelli with Mercedes.
Yuki.
Kimi.
Again with that name I can't say.
The top 6.
Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh, okay, we're done.
Well, I was just gonna say the top 6 are like the 6 guys to watch
Yeah.
for this year. George Russell, I mean,
Georgie,
he's gone viral for like being super handsome this summer, but good. I guess good to see he's driving a little better. He and Hamilton had like on and off beef, I think.
I don't think so, really.
Yeah, I
mean, they're 2 British drivers. I feel like Hamilton was like kind of done with Mercedes. And George was like, it's just an uncomfortable position being with like a 7-time world championship driver, done.
And starting to be better than him in some races.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that causes beef sometimes.
Yeah, I just don't think the cars were that drivable for both of them. Maybe. And like George knew that he was going to be there for a while, so he's like fighting to like make it happen. And then one of your drivers is just like, I'm done with this. Like that's got to be a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, I guess. I agree. So tomorrow's race is in China. Do you know what time that's going to go?
It's coming on at 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah, so I'm going to be asleep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that that's what's going on.
I want to say that was the first time Ferrari's ever won a sprint race. Like not even Lewis Hamilton outside. Like that was the first time they won a sprint race.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's a new concept.
It's relatively new, but one.
Yeah. They've never won one until Goat Hamilton steps up to the plate.
That's exactly right. All right. Let's segue.
Dude, we should go to F1 this year.
I think I am going.
Which one?
I actually can't tell you because it's a secret. I'll tell you off
the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to go to Mexico City.
Let's go football. I saw this major news. We can talk Champions League, because that's the biggest competition going on right now for soccer.
Yes.
But before we do that, Trent to Real Madrid.
It's a signed and sealed delivered?
I believe it is.
the rumors have been out there for a while now. Dude, Liverpool's having...
Can you look up if Trent Alexander-Arnold is confirmed to Madrid?
Liverpool's having some weird contract negotiations. Like, they have great players. They've got Mo Salah, whose contract, I'm pretty sure, expires this season, doesn't have a new contract.
Is that why they're not playing him? So, like, why didn't he play against PSG?
I don't know. He didn't play at all?
I don't think so. I saw a note that was
Not officially confirmed as of today.
I think they were trolling him because like he just didn't show up that game. I think he played.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They
it's
said that
something
he
showed up.
declined Liverpool's contract.
Yeah, so Liverpool, like they're very financially conscientious. They run their football team very, very well. But they're not paying Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk. These guys are all asking for new deals, and then Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's been there. That's his boyhood club.
Yeah, he's only 26.
28.
28 now?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Golly.
Or he's turning 28 this year. He might be 27. So yeah, they're not paying their big name players, which is strange. You don't see that, but I think it is a financially conscientious decision where like we can't do this because this will ruin our team forever.
I mean, if their backs are against the wall, I guess, but you're not going to sign better players than Mo Salah and Van Dijk.
Yes, they're weighing it as like they've been here for a while. They've produced so much. Like, how much can we really pay them when they're asking for so much more than, and they're also getting older in age?
Somebody's going to do it.
Yes,
but I guess like what I'm saying is Liverpool's just making the decision then to not have a player that is worth that much money because it's not worth it. Well, they kind of have always been that way. Like they just sign people from Southampton or from smaller clubs and they coach them up and they win the league.
Yeah.
So I guess it's
maybe
not
that's
all
just
that surprising.
Like, maybe that's just the way they operate. You know,
those are two golden or Ballon d'Or.
I mean, Salah's the favorite at the moment. I know, like,
and Van Dijk in the past 5 years as a defender has been in the top three multiple times.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but it's just weird that they're not. I mean, it is like they're probably in the peak of their careers. Like this contract would probably be like a downhill contract. Maybe
if anything, they're both on the back end. How can you say Salah's on the back end? He's as good as he's ever been.
And so is Van Dijk. It's just weird, but it's. Like, obviously, you want them to get paid. You want them to stay in the Premier League because I want to watch. That's the league I watch the most. I want them to stay, even though it is for Liverpool. But it doesn't seem like they're willing to meet them in the middle, I guess, and figure this thing out. And it's very worrying for Liverpool, I would say.
Yeah, and other worrying things for Liverpool is
they've had a bad week,
losing to PSG.
Yeah, in the Champions League on pens.
Yeah.
Do you know who was the person that missed the pen?
I do. And
I've sent you memes.
It was Darwin Núñez.
Darwin Núñez.
Yeah.
Darwin Núñez missed the pen.
I saw it. I forget. Was it a bad pen?
I don't know.
Or was it a
I
good
didn't see
save?
the pen.
I forget. I think it might have been both.
But either way, PSG's dominance has been...
Donnarumma's save was nice, actually, now that I remember it.
Okay.
Yeah.
PSG's been... They dominated them for I believe, both legs.
Yeah, a lot of what I... Sorry, go ahead.
I would want to shout out to the coach at PSG, Luis Fernandez?
Enrique.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I knew the first name. But yeah, he's been awesome. He was formerly with Barcelona. I believe he won them a Champions League and with Messi and all the boys. But phenomenal coach. He's got like
He was like the David Villa era, I think.
Okay. He's got like a heartbreaking story with his daughter who passed away really, really young, but like he's just like embraced it, and like I don't know how he went through it, but like the way he talks about it is really, really
I did not
cool.
know that.
You should watch. Like it's like a tear wrenching thing, but he's like
I feel like you're gonna cry right now.
Yeah. But it's very, 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 very deep.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
I am
So I'm all on board with him taking PSG. Like I hope they win the Champions League.
Yeah, I'm already a fan of his and of the way PSG have been playing. I have been anti-PSG because obviously I'm pro Saint-Étienne.
Yeah.
But I never really loved the way PSG bought players, like all the way back to the Cavani, Ibrahimovic.
You spent all the money. They're the Yankees.
Yeah, and it never, particularly with PSG, it never made sense. Like they bought Ibra after Cavani was there, and they had a clear hole at like center mid or at center. They
just wanted big names. They wanted to do it for money. I guess.
They'll sign whoever is the most expensive person on the market. Honestly.
Just because they can.
Yeah, and what I've noticed here, or other people have noticed, and I've just been watching and learning, but they seem to be playing better soccer as a team right now, which is for me, more respectable than like, okay, let's go sign Neymar and Mbappe and let them play. Obviously, in recent years, the team has developed into big names like at every single position, but still they have not.
They
seen
have
as
young
much
French
success
guys
as
as
they
well,
have.
which is awesome.
Right now they have. I can't even name their whole
Desiree
roster. They have
Doué is fantastic.
They have the young Portuguese kid in the middle.
How Gomez or How Neves.
Yeah, Neves. Yeah. And it just feels like, okay, you build a team that can. He can't shoot, but they can. But he can pass and create. It's not all just people who think they should be wearing the captain's band.
And I love that Varaskelia signing. Ousmane Dembele's been
Varaskelli's great.
Who's their striker though? Who they got up top? It's
Cole. Oh no,
Cole doesn't really play though.
He's in Juventus now.
I don't know if they play with the striker. They might play the false nine.
Who is their striker? I don't know. I have no idea. But one thing I do want to say.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been somewhat of a star player and kind of a breakout season on that team. Who would be?
Desiree Doué.
Oh, I was going to say
Ousmane
Dembele.
Yeah.
Because not that he's young and it's like a breakout season because you didn't
young.
know him. Yeah.
He's
but
like 26.
People are saying it's his best year. This is what he was supposed to do in Barcelona.
Yeah.
This is what, yada, yada, yada. I saw the stat the other day, and so it's been like 38 games or so.
Yeah.
Messi had in his 38 games at PSG on par with goals and has had twice as many assists. And people were saying he's washed and he stunk for PSG. And
but this is Dembele's breakthrough season.
And like he's in Ballon d'Or talks now.
Well, have you seen like his from 2025 on? His stats are ridiculous though. It's
They
it's
are.
like 10 matches, 11 goals, like 7 assists, something crazy like that.
Exactly. I'm just saying, like, bad Messi was putting,
but it was better than him.
Same season. Okay, that's all.
Enough PSG talk.
Yeah, and that's
no,
all,
there's one more Champions League.
but that's all we got for PSG.
So there was the Madrid derby. I'm not English. The Madrid derby happened in the Champions League, and there was some controversy to this one. Did you see this controversy? So they ended up going into PKs as the PSG matchup did, and VAR stepped into play here. They said that Julian Alvarez from Atlético double touched on his PK, so that annulled it. So they just canceled it, no retake. So that just counted as a miss. And then Real Madrid went on to win the penalty shootout with Rudiger, I believe was the last kick taker. And Vardrid strikes again. Do you have any other thoughts to piece in here?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I have my opinion on it.
Okay.
So I'm happy to see Real go through because I have them in my future bet
for the money.
So I need them to win. However, that was kind of bogus.
It was BS.
The ruling and the double touch is that Alvarez is striking the ball with his right foot, and so he plants his left foot next to the ball, obviously, to make that happen. There's maybe the slightest.
It's minuscule.
touch.
Like I can't see. If you slow the thing down, anything it looks
and so
impossible.
Yeah, so this double touch regulation that they're calling into play, I think, is to do with like not moving the keeper one way and then kicking it the other. This is every single player places their foot right next to that ball every time, and he did it. He touched so minusculely that I don't know that you could notice.
I didn't see it live at all. I didn't even see it when they slowed it down.
So when they slow it down, it's like the slightest graze of the ball with that plant foot as he's kicking through. And listen, I obviously want to win money.
Yeah,
but Atletico
got robbed.
They got robbed. Yeah.
Did you see that?
Should have been a goal.
So even like Messi's World Cup kick, PK.
Yeah,
he double touched it as
That's
well.
what I mean.
They're bringing out videos from
that it's going to happen. Your plant foot is so close to where you're striking the ball. It has to happen every now and then.
And if they caught it consistently, I'd be fine with it. And you knew the rules, but like this came out of the left field.
Or if even the ball moved like an inch to the right, like the keeper is like waiting for that slightest little thing, but he did not see it happen. I mean, whatever.
It was BS, but Madrid is through.
Madrid
somehow,
is through.
some way.
Yeah,
they're into the quarterfinals now.
Is it already?
Yeah, we're in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so they're going to go on, maybe win another trophy. One team that just won a recent trophy for the first time in 70 years. Ave.
Newcastle FC beats Liverpool in the EFL Cup. As we've alluded to before, Liverpool did have a pretty poor week. Pretty poor week for Liverpool, but 70 years, first time in 70 years. Isak scored in the final. I think it was like 3-1 what it ended up as. Yeah, Isak's fantastic. They're saying
the dark Swede.
Yeah, they're saying he might move on as well from Newcastle.
He will.
There's offers coming in from everywhere. Newcastle just doesn't have the pay structure to keep him, so he's one to look out for. Who would you want to see him play for if he does move on?
I feel like I've heard him in talks with Madrid before, but that would be wasted.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's something they would do for some reason. Chelsea, but they have Nicholas Jackson and a ton of other players, so they won't. Yeah,
do like that. What big name would you want him to see on?
I would take him for Arsenal. We could use. Oh
yeah, I've heard rumors with Arsenal.
Yeah, we could use more of a, number 9 striker. Mm-hmm. So that could be nice.
It's a big dude too. He's like 6'1", 6'2".
Tottenham has great wingers. I think they could use a number 9 too, though.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why I love Richarlison's game, but he's not playing well for Tottenham. No, and they have another striker there too, though.
Well, they have Kulusevski and Son who score a ton of their goals. So, since Harry Kane left, I don't know.
They've got Solanke, who bought from Bournemouth. He was very good for Bournemouth, but he's not doing the numbers for Tottenham. Yeah.
But Isak, I think, could play almost anywhere in the Prem.
He could play for any team.
He could play for any team. It would just be like if you have Haaland, you're not really.
Yeah, you're not going to go. And you sign Haaland for 10 years.
Right. Okay. What is Tu eres mi idolo?
So I want to preface this by saying, dude, I hate the international break schedules for soccer. I just want to watch the Prem or like La Liga. Like I hate when they break up the weekends.
Yeah.
But this was the perfect weekend for them to do an international break because of March Madness. I'm so distracted with that like I don't even care that there's an international break going on. Mm-hmm. So the international break this week is actually kind of crucial game. So we have the CONCACAF, or not the CONCACAF, sorry. The Nations League semifinals and finals are being played. So the European Nations League semifinals and finals have been played. Like I think I don't know who's like England's in it. There's a couple more teams from England.
Just like semi-competitive.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're playing for a show. They're playing for something. It's not just like a friendly where like we're getting used to the team, used to the squad, whatever. But there's CONCACAF Nations League going on as well. So CONCACAF is the region which the United States plays in. So it's like United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, all these other countries. So USA's in the semifinals, which is to be expected. They're playing against Panama, right? They're like dominating this game. They just can't score. So the 90th minute stoppage time, Panama is like maybe their one chance of the game. They end up scoring, and so
does that tie the game?
No. So it's 0-0.
Okay, so
and then
put them up.
Put them up 1. Yeah, this is the only goal they've scored in the whole game. USA loses this game, semifinals, whatever. But the goal was so sick, and they have Clint Dempsey, what's her last name now? Kate Abdo, we'll call her. Kate Abdo and Thierry Henry are sitting pitchside, commentating the game or getting ready for
the post game,
or like getting ready to talk through PKs or whatever, and they're sitting literally pitch side, and the whole Panama team after they scored runs over and said Thierry Henry, and the dude that scores like "Tu eres mi idolo," like just screams in his face. Dude, it was an awesome moment.
Oh, that's sick.
Even though like I wanted USA to win, but Panama had this sick moment where the whole team runs up to Thierry Henry and just hugs him and just says, "You're my idol. Like you're the reason I started playing soccer."
Oh, that's
it was so cool.
He's my favorite soccer. I mean, Messi's always going to be up there, but Thierry Henry's my favorite soccer player. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got to send you the clip after the pod. But yeah, he's got so much aura, and that was awesome. I hate to see USA lose, but that Panama moment was so cool. I could not bring it up on the podcast.
Yeah, that's sick. Okay, cool. Well, also that was more soccer than I thought we were gonna do. That's awesome. I didn't know we had that much news. Now to segue over to Miss Lynn's favorite sport. Jessica, I think you're going to want to be a part of this because opening day is already around the corner. It's next Thursday.
Damn.
Yeah. So time to...
Well, technically already started, though.
Yeah, because of the Tokyo series between...
the Cubs and the Dodgers.
So they swept?
Dodgers swept them?
Dodgers swept them, okay.
Yeah. Right?
I think they won the first two. I didn't see what happened in the third. But yeah, so opening day is next Thursday. Listen, baseball season's long. We have plenty of time to talk about it. I think what will be fun is if we just went through each division and talked who we think's going to win it.
Okay.
Not like a betting thing, but there's so much to talk about in baseball. And by the time next week gets here, we will have opening day will have started potentially, unless we get it in Tuesday, Wednesday. So we'll see. But if we start in the American League East, we have Tampa Bay Rays, Toronto Blue Jays, New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, Baltimore Orioles.
Ooh.
We can talk wild card. We can talk this, that, and the other. But let's just go let's just try to pick at least a winner. And it doesn't have to be the same, but you have a take? Feels like you're excited.
The young guys, dude, this is like Baltimore has been, well, they've not been slept on. They've been terrible for so long. Did they win the AL East last year?
I don't think so, but the year before. I think they've won it recently.
They've won it recently? Okay. I still got faith in these young guys. I think they're going to do it this year. If they didn't do it last year, they did it. I feel like Baltimore Orioles can win this division. Jessica? And will win this division.
I think that's a fine take, Abe. I'm going to hold off.
I think the Rays are the best team out of here, but I also like the Orioles.
The Rays?
Yeah.
Holy, I did not see that coming. All right, it's a hot take. What do you like about the Rays?
They're not even going to be playing in Tampa.
Oh, is their thing getting redone?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're playing in, I think, the one of the spring training stadiums for the season.
The whole season?
Uh-huh.
I mean, those are nice, and they don't get a lot of fans anyway.
It's the Yankees spring training stadium.
I mean, so you guys are both Orioles then, it sounds like?
I really like the Orioles, especially in the last few years.
Ganar.
And I can think of my mom, as you mentioned, like every time we play the Orioles, she's just like, ugh, this team. Like they just keep
they've been
coming
bad
and
for
winning.
so long. I feel like I just want them to do well.
Yeah, my take on the
I
Orioles.
mean, the Rays. Who's on the Orioles?
Ganar Henderson.
My take. Oh yeah, Gunnar. Nah, Adley Rutschman. That's the boy.
Adley Rutschman's the boy. I just like Gunnar because his name's cool.
I hate Gunnar.
Really?
He is good though. Because everyone says he's better than Bobby. He's not better than Bobby.
Dude, I mean, his number line, 281. I mean, 281, 37 at home.
He drops some
nukes.
Yeah, he does. But the thing with the Orioles for me, though, Zach Eflin's their opening day starter. So how good can their rotation be? He has been better since leaving the Phillies, but still.
He was great for Tampa. I mean, we had him for fantasy.
Yeah. Only thing is their bullpen is great. So if I'm gonna Felix Bautista is probably the best,
and that's great for the regular season.
Yeah.
As well.
So
I feel like the Yankees too always are.
Yeah.
Yankees are going to be
contender.
strong. My pick's actually going to be the Boston Red Sox. I think Rafael Devers is going to have a great year. They signed Alex Bregman.
Yeah.
I think Jared Duran he had an almost MVP season last year. He definitely caught Jessica's eye.
Mm-hmm.
She likes him a lot. They have a really strong pitching staff, in my opinion. So I'm going to go Boston Red Sox. I think obviously the Yankees are going to have a decent year, but
they're not going to be bad.
Stanton just got hurt. I don't love their lineup from top to bottom. And Garrett Cole obviously just got hurt. Yeah. So I'm going to go Red Sox. You guys go Orioles. All right. AL Central, Twins, Royals, Tigers, Guardians, White Sox.
I want to go with my boy Bobby Witts, but my boy Jose for the Guardians, they're just too much. They're just too much.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really close division. I think everybody but the White Sox could come out on top. I think the Twins are probably the next off the list of legitimate competitiveness. I'm not sure about the Tigers' depth. I know they have Spencer Torkelson. They obviously have Tarek Skubal. They have the young kid, Max Clark, who's going to be great. But it's a long season, and I think the two other teams, the Royals and the Guardians, are more, well professionally equipped. I'm gonna go Royals. I'm gonna say the Royals over the Guardians. I think the Guardians is probably the better and safer pick, but I'm gonna ride Bobby Witt Jr.'s coattail. I'm not exactly sure what pieces they put together. They have a young kid, Jack Caglione from Florida. He was a two-way in college, and he's been dropping nukes for the Royals. Yeah, Italiano. So I'm gonna go Royals. Jessica, did you have a take on the AL Central?
What I'm doing is I'm looking at some stats, but it keeps pushing me to spring training, which I don't really care about. And now it's really confusing me. And that's my answer.
All right. AL West then.
But Guardians are higher on the list of hitting and pitching going into the regular season.
So you're with Abe again. Orioles, Guardians.
The Royals did stand out to me. Who's the other one? Twins? I don't even think that they exist. So yeah.
They do. Rolls-Royce Lewis.
Did American League West, did the Rangers win the whole thing 2 years ago?
They did.
And they didn't make the playoffs last year?
I don't remember.
They got the one dude that his nukes, the black dude.
Oh.
Is he bald?
Garcia?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
He's not black?
He is black.
Okay.
Depends how you look at it.
He Dominican?
See, but like same.
No black.
No black.
No black.
But it's the same history.
Yeah.
Like they're black.
Rangers
Whatever.
did make the playoffs.
They did make play. Okay.
They made the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're going with the A's here, right?
Angels?
No, they did not
Like
make
Trout?
the playoffs. Sorry, they confused me. They made them in 2023. I don't think they made it in 2024.
Marcus Simeon, I think,
It's the Stros
he had a bad
for
year.
me. I can't. It's just the Stros.
I'm gonna go Rangers.
You are going Rangers.
Yeah, I'm going Rangers because DeGrom's back. If he doesn't get hurt, it's obvious he's the best pitcher.
Is that
in
Batman?
baseball.
Is that Batman?
What do you mean?
Is his nickname Batman
It might have been on the
Mets?
No, that was Matt Harvey, The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Yeah. DeGrom was after Harvey. He's the best pitcher in baseball if he's healthy.
Okay.
He's so good. And then Corey Seager at shortstop, Marcus Simeon, Garcia. They have that rookie Wyatt Langford.
Yeah. We picked him up for a little bit.
Yeah, he's really, really good. I'm gonna go Astros. I think. Jessica, you want to take here?
I'm gonna go Mariners.
Oh, interesting. Very, very good pitching staff. Like maybe the best.
Honestly,
in baseball.
if Julio gets out to a good start, yeah.
yeah. All right, so we're in disagreement there. National League East. Now again, this is going to be division.
Philadelphia Phillies.
The division winners.
my
Not
God.
saying they're not going to make playoffs, but Phillies, Mets, Nationals, Braves, Marlins.
I want to go home. Do I go first here?
I'll go first if you want.
I want to go hometown hoops here, but Acuna is going to be back. They got Matt Olson's. They're just so squatted up out there. Spencer Strider's back. Yeah,
Chris Sale just won the Cy Young last year. His first year in Atlanta.
Yeah, for the regular season, I'm gonna go Braves.
Me too. For the same reasons. I'll go Philly second, though. I think the Mets are getting over-projected.
I'm going to go. I
Juan
think
Soto.
I want to choose the Phillies, so that would be my answer. But if I had to, I think I'm going to predict there'll be Braves, Phillies, Mets, or the Phillies and Mets swapped. And then I think the Nationals drop from last year and Marlins are in the fourth spot.
Maybe.
I think they get. How many wild cards are there in the NL?
I think there's 3 each side now.
Okay, so I'm
Maybe
gonna,
2.
I'm going to say that the NL East gets 2 wild cards.
Yeah, I do. I agree. The only thing that would stop that is the Diamondbacks, maybe. Okay, so we're all in agreement. Braves probably going to end up with the most wins.
The Braves are just so
They're so well balanced.
They're just like that team
They have
that
everything.
you can't. They're just really a good team.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and they're not scared.
And I
like
think
they're intimidating.
They must have a really good. Luke, maybe you know more on this. They must have a really good farm system.
Yeah, I mean they pull up guys like I think Freeman was drafted to the Braves. Freddie Freeman, Acuna, Ozzie Albies. Matt Olson was not. He came from the A's. Austin Riley, maybe. I'm not sure. But, like, the lineup is incredible. And they also have Marcell Ozuna, by the way. He was not a farm system guy. But Spencer Strider, Max Fried, who's now with the Yankees, but, again, farm system. So I just think it's a good organization. Kind of like the Astros. NL Central, Cardinals, Pirates, Reds, Brewers, Cubs.
I don't know too much about any of these
So
teams.
the Brewers finished first. Last year, and then the Cubs, and then the Cardinals, and then the Reds.
The Dodgers only played 2 games against the Cubs.
I saw that.
That's why I didn't know what happened in the third.
I mean, the Cubs didn't get off to a hot start, but I like I said, I don't know much about this division, but I'm gonna go Chicago Cubs.
I mean, they signed Kyle Tucker, who's one of the best top 5 player in the league, maybe.
Okay, Kyle, dude, he killed us in the World Series. Yeah, I know Kyle Tucker.
They have Dansby Swanson. I think they have Cody Bell. No, Bellinger was on the Cubs. Now he's with the Yankees, I think. Cubs could win this. It's going to be not the Cardinals, essentially. Okay. The Reds, I don't know if I'm just falling in love with Ellie De La Cruz because that dude is electric. Yeah. He's dark horse MVP if you want to put in a little
some money on it.
Yeah. Damn, I guess I got to say something. I'm going to go Brewers. I'm going to say Brewers. I just like their consistency. As far as winning the division is concerned, I think the Brewers will do it. Jessica?
Why are you against the Cardinals?
They've just been dog shit for the past few years.
Okay, but the Cardinals and the Cubs have the exact same record from last year, 83 and 79.
Okay.
Both
I didn't say Cubs.
No, I'm just curious.
Before them, the Cardinals have been bad, and they don't have anything that's particularly promising to me.
Yeah, they have like the exact same record from last year. It might be the exact same.
Damn.
I picked the Brewers. I don't know what you want me to say. I didn't pick the Cubs.
Well, I'm just asking. I picked the Cardinals.
Okay, fine. I think the Cubs picked up Kyle Tucker, which is huge. So maybe I'm missing something from the Cardinals, but I don't think so. All right, NL West. This one should be easy. I'm going to go Dodgers.
Yeah, they already started. They're 2-0.
You could think about
they're going 162-0.
The Padres are another team that could.
I know
that could take a wild card spot.
Yeah.
From
The Padres
Phillies.
are a fun team to root for.
Are the Giants good? They're going to be good this year?
Yes, but win the division.
No, I know. I mean, it's the Dodgers. If the
It looks
Dodgers
like
don't
there's-
win the division, this is like the worst baseball team in his history.
Like biggest bust.
Yeah.
Yeah, people talk about their bats, and they are great bats. Like, even when you get to Teoscar Hernandez and then Max Muncy and then Will Smith, like, those are still – because then you have, like, Tommy Edman. You have that Korean second baseman that batted 240 in Korea. So that's, like, the bottom of their lineup.
Yeah.
But their pitching staff is even better. That's the thing that I don't see enough on TV.
They gloss over it.
It's obviously more fun to talk about Shohei and Freeman and Betts and the home runs, but – I cannot stress enough. Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, the two, Shohei again, Yamamoto, Sasukai. Still not sure how to say his last name.
We'll find out
Roki
during the
Sasaki.
year.
Bobby
I want
Miller.
sushi now.
Yeah,
I had it last
we had
night.
sushi last night.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I have a question. on
but it's
this.
just unreal how good that pitching staff is.
So the Dodgers are, in my head, doing what the Yankees did or doing what Premier Soccer does.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate it.
I
But
love it.
I don't like how they defer all the contracts. Like, just pay them. If you want to sign them, $700 for 10.
You have
give
to
them
pay them,
$70
yeah.
million a year.
Yeah.
But
That'll be a
it
deterrent.
seems that the Yankees did this first, and although it's people want to buy the jerseys, they have the crazy team. They don't actually ever make it to the big show, and the Dodgers are. It just feels different, and I feel like they're doing the same thing, but it's like they're winning. They won the World Series,
but we missed the Yankees in their heyday.
In their prime
well,
time,
we
yeah.
didn't, but
but not really. They have Aaron Judge, Stanton. They had
Well, Aaron
Derek
Judge
Jeter.
came up.
Yeah, Derek Jeter won 5 World Series. Like they were what the Dodgers are.
But were they buying
Derek
players
Jeter-
like
yeah.
that back then?
Yeah, the A-Rod, Mark Teixeira, Matsui, Raul Ibanez.
But they still have an anchor
Roger
though. Like
Clemens.
Derek Jeter came through the system. Aaron Judge came through the
Yeah.
system.
So why
Well,
doesn't
I'm just
it last?
saying the past 10 years or so, we haven't seen them win, but they
Spent the money.
they
Yeah,
beat
they've got players.
They beat the Phillies in
Then why
09.
isn't it long lasting?
It is long lasting. They've won 27. And the Yankees are still good. I mean, listen, it's tough to say like you don't have a World Series, so you're bad. The Yankees make the playoffs.
I'm
They're not
putting
as
them
good
on a
as they should
pedestal to be
be.
very high because of the players they have.
Of course, but they don't have that right now. They haven't had that since Jeter
So the Dodgers are
Retired.
the big boy team.
and the Phillies and the Braves.
Wow, isn't it fun that the Phillies are there?
Yeah.
Be
I
afraid.
kind of like the underdog.
Like
though.
Judge is
I
great.
feel like
That
we are
wild
the
card year was
underdogs still.
amazing.
Yeah, wild card year was the best.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I'm good on baseball. Garrett Cole got Tommy John. We kind of mentioned that when we
Yeah.
talked Yankees.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. He's kind of like Van Dyke and Sala. It's hard to say he's on the back end of his prime, but he's just kind of aging.
And Tommy John's not going to help.
Tommy John actually come back throwing harder, but I don't know how. If he's like 33, 34,
Okay.
it's
You
going to
do
be
something and your arm's stronger somehow.
Yeah, I'm telling you. To
It's
people come
cheap
back.
weird.
No, people
I'm about to
like
get a Tommy
people
John.
aren't
Throw
worried.
faster.
It's a long recovery.
It's probably because like the therapy and like the because they're probably doing all those stretches and
I have
whatnot.
no
yeah.
clue. Maybe you just have a stronger.
But I feel like age has to matter too. Like
people have gotten it twice and they come back.
Sheesh.
It's just a long recovery,
Yeah.
but the success rate in return is high.
Got you. I was gonna say wish me luck in some fantasy baseball. Got a draft at 4 p.m. tonight. I'm going for
By the time the
Shohei
people
first
hear
pick.
this, you'll
Yeah,
have been.
I'll let you guys know my roster
Yeah,
at next ep. But
love to hop in the Discord and help you draft.
let's do it. Yeah.
I asked ChatGPT what their predictions are for the 2025 season.
Yeah. What we got?
The AL champions are the Astros and the Rays. And then
Wow.
the NL champions
doesn't
are
make
the
sense.
Braves and the Dodgers. And then the World
Rays.
Series predictions, Astros versus Braves.
Ooh.
That's
Possible,
fine.
yeah.
That's doable.
Very interesting.
They signed the Astros signed a first baseman that's going to help them a lot, Christian Walker from Arizona. He's really good. And the thing about the Rays that I forgot, they have this guy McClellan maybe.
Mm-hmm.
He's an incredible pitcher. So, but
They said that the bit, well, obviously they're probably pulling from, like, this chat is pulling from all of these sources they have on the internet, but saying the predictions are based on current roster, recent performances, trends, injuries, and trades.
Well, I would hope so.
I know, but it's cool that, like,
That's where I actually get my logic from too.
Yeah, I just
imagine if we just was like, yeah, based on my predictions of the trades and the, like, that it's just, I don't know. That's ideal. No?
Yeah.
We should keep that in mind.
All right.
See how the AI world does, and then we can use that to our advantage.
For betting, just like, what can I bet on right now?
What do you usually think about when you bet? That's like, those
My
are
heart.
the inputs, I think.
My heart and my vibes.
All right, we got some golf, hockey, and football left. I can't hold in this any longer. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Anywho, the NFL is considering several rule changes for the upcoming season.
Tush push, go on.
Yeah, number one, banning the tush push. The proposal is from the Packers, and they proposed eliminating the tush push play where an offensive player pushes the quarterback forward to gain short yardage. They suggest imposing a 10-yard penalty for its use. The rationale is that concerns over player safety and the play's impact on the game's pace have been cited as reasons for going into why they want to ban this. They're just mad that they can't do it.
Exactly, because it works for us.
I can't believe how difficult it is, but, like, I've heard people talk about it, and, like, they're just like, the Eagles are so good at it.
They're ridiculously good at it. But there's this analyst on it, like, I don't know how they always play NFL content no matter what time of year it is on ESPN. It's literally always on. Like, you can find something, an NFL program on any given day. Like, it's got to be on at, like, prime time as well. It'll be on, like, 4 o'clock. They got NFL Live on. But there's an analyst saying, like, this play should be banned because of the pushing of a player. And they said it's illegal to do, like, everywhere else on the field. And it's like, it should have never been legal for them to do this now.
Well, I heard them, like, it made me think back to, like, why they ended up starting this. I wonder if it was from Jordan Mailata coming from, like, rugby with Australia. But I mean, they're just mad.
I know. They're mad that it's so successful. Like, there's always been
a quarterback
sneak. Yeah. There's always been a quarterback sneak in the NFL. I mean, the rules are the rules, and we're just really, really good at doing this specific thing. Just stop us. Like, you guys can do it too, but nobody else can do it. So, like, you has to be stopped. Yeah, which is annoying.
I agree. That's literally number one on the list. Number two, adjusting playoff seeding criteria, which I don't know if I have much. So, proposal is the Detroit Lions recommend reseeding wildcard teams based on their regular season records, allowing them to be seeded higher than division winners if they have a better record. The rationale is that this change aims to reward teams with superior performance during the regular season, ensuring a fair playoff structure.
No, absolutely not.
And that's a no from Avery, and that's our vote.
Because...
Wait, is the first one a no too with the tush push?
Yeah.
This is Sideline Banter's voting right now.
Yes,
so
Sideline Banter says no to the banning of the tush push, and then we say no to the playoff reseeding because, I mean, they earned that division title. I mean, I understand that, you know, some teams have better records playing in a better division and don't win that division, but, like, it doesn't matter. Like, they've earned that title. There should not be reseeding.
How is it? Can you explain to me how it's possible that a division winner would have not as good of a seed than the wild card teams?
No,
I'm sorry, like record.
So, like, if the Eagles played in, well, the Eagles is a bad example. Let's see who made the playoffs. Like,
do you like the Bengals?
The Bengals they suck this year. That's why they didn't get in. Like, a team can be like finish like 8-8 and win their division because their division was really bad. Oh. And then a team can play in like the Vikings. You know, they won like 15 games this year and they didn't win their division because Detroit won their division. So like, they had 15 wins.
So they're saying when you go into like the next round.
Yeah. Well, I guess it would be the first round though, because all division winners get a home seed, like an automatic home playoff game.
Yeah, this one's too confusing, and our vote was no.
Yeah.
All right.
Should they reseed NFL playoffs based on a team having a higher record?
Oh, that's a new topic of conversation. I think no.
Yeah,
we're doing Sideline Banter's voting because we matter in the NFL world, and so far number one on this is for NFL
Are we talking
tush
NFL?
Push? Yeah. So Avery voted for the channel. It's a no.
Yeah.
We did not pass that. Adjusting playoff seeding. That's what they were just noting. A no as well.
Yeah. I'm anti-tush push because unless
anti-banning the tush push.
Anti-banning the tush push because unless you wrote it, I mean, and they hopefully would write it, like you can't push a player with the ball from behind in this situation. Like, you can't just say ban tush push. Like, okay, fine. Then when that guy's like down the field, I can't push him into the end zone at any point. Or can I? When can't I? Like, tush push is just a name.
I mean,
so like,
I
what
did read
about
the rationale and the proposal. I'm not going to do it again.
They said it's for injuries.
Yeah.
It was just crazy because like I've seen one player get injured in the Super Bowl. Chris Jones had like a what's it called?
He was just pissed.
He was just
maybe.
yeah,
but
he's
like
emotional.
throughout the whole season, I've watched every single Eagles game. I've not seen one injury from that play.
No, yeah, and maybe like I said, I'm sure they did lay it out like exactly what
Packers.
they mean. Oh yeah, I know. But I just like, what about it is an illegal thing to do? Is it pushing someone else?
Yes, it's the pushing of it.
So like that's never
because
happened.
It's never a football play.
I think
to
it
push.
is banned like in some portions of like you can't push the ball character.
I've heard like it's like being compared to like we're the NFL, we're not rugby or whatever.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Do you think it came from? My question was, do you think it came from Jordan? Like he was like, "Hey guys, I got a really good play that works every time." Because it kind of started when he came and he was.
I mean, him being there helps either way.
Yeah, and then
like, let me teach you guys.
The playoff seeding. I think I heard you guys say it would maybe be confusing, but from my perspective, I just think if you would take away from those games. The reason we have a rivalry with the Cowboys is not because Philadelphians hate Texans. It's not because Eagles and Cowboys historically have wars against each other. It's because we're in the same division and we both compete twice a year.
Yeah, they just happen to stink.
To win
once at home and once away.
Yeah.
And so those games, because of the seeding, are much more valuable than when we play the Chiefs or the Patriots. Like, those are teams that we could be rivalrous with, but we're not because doesn't matter. If you only go by record, rivalries are just like whoever's good right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have number 3.
And also, it just takes down like from the division title means nothing, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. You're not in. Yeah, there are no
It just
divisions.
waters it down. Yeah.
Number 3 is modifying penalties for defensive infractions. Proposals from the Lions asking to remove automatic first downs for defensive holding and illegal contact penalties while maintaining the yardage penalties. The rationale behind this is the current enforcement is considered overly punitive for defenses, and this adjustment seeks to balance competitiveness.
Okay, that's the last one we're going to do.
That one lost me.
Why?
Because we're going to talk fun things and not rules. But
There's only 6, and we're voting.
That's it. I'm vetoing rule statements. But that I would be pro, because I do think automatic first downs, because offensive holdings are
10 yards.
10 yards, which is, I mean, that's like a hold down almost.
Well, the 4, 5, and 6 is standardizing overtime rules. That's actually from the Eagles.
Why
and
are
then
you-
revisiting kickoff rules and expanding replay assistance. That was the
Replay
6.
assistance is actually solid because they don't pause the game.
This is the
I
offseason.
don't
That's what
mind
it's
that.
talking about.
All right, off-season moves. Did we talk off-season moves yet?
For the NFL?
No.
We did not. What we got?
We got Cup to Seattle.
Yeah.
Cooper Cup. We got Sam Darnold also to Seattle.
Yeah.
So that's like a little battery pack over to Seattle. So obviously, who had to leave Seattle? Would that being the case? Geno Smith to the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Are they Los Angeles Raiders?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, I meant. Yeah, Las Vegas Raiders. Nick Bosa, or no,
Bosa.
Joey Bosa to Buffalo. The older one, Joey.
Yes.
Yeah,
Joey Bosa to
Joseph.
Buffalo, which
Yeah.
is needed.
Yeah, they lost Von Miller.
Yeah, and they just had defensive struggles to begin with anyway this year. Devontae Adams to the Rams. And Jameis Winston to the Giants.
The Giants.
And then the last one of note for me is Justin Fields to the Jets.
Justin Fields to the Jets.
So I know you're going to want to talk Jameis Giants, and we will.
Yep.
I just want to talk, because that's more fun, so we'll do that. But strategically, we glance over Geno and Bosa and Darnold, because those are just like, yep, new quarterback or bolstering the defense. That makes sense. For me, Seattle signing Cup makes sense because DK leaves. So now they have Smith and Jigba, who's more of a touchdown scoring distance, what am I trying to say? a wide receiver who can get down
more
the field.
explosive plays, I guess. Well, Cooper Cup
Yeah.
can explosive plays, but he's like his.
Well,
like
Cup's
his
going to get
flat
you like
route.
10 catches a game almost.
Yeah.
So he's going to get open quick and
Got
get
you.
you first down. So it's a nice little difference maker there.
Yeah.
What I don't understand from the Rams' perspective, I guess they're giving up Cooper Cup because they believe in Nakua, but they're bringing in Devontae Adams, who for me is actually closer to the archetype of Nakua than Cooper Cup is.
Yeah.
I thought that
They
there
had
was
a good
actually
balance of it, yeah.
a good balance of like a touchdown scorer. Not that Cooper Cup doesn't score touchdowns,
Yeah.
he obviously does and can, but like they bring in Adams, who's at the same stage
The
of his
same
career as
profile,
Cup, and a similar profile to Puka, as
Yeah.
you were saying. So I don't know. I don't really get it for the Rams. Not that, I mean, Devontae Adams is a great
He's
wide
unbelievable.
receiver,
Yeah.
but I don't know what Cooper Cup wasn't doing. Why wouldn't you go get a younger guy or a different position? It kind of seems like they replaced.
I think the contract talks kind of just stalled with Cooper, and then they just wanted the next thing out there who's like a.
Did they pay
a
less
credible-
for Adams though?
I would assume not.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
exactly. I
Devontae
would
Adams.
assume not.
Devontae Adams is probably a Hall of Famer.
So like the camaraderie
Cooper
and the
Kupp's probably
knowledge
my
of the
favorite too, so.
offense and all that you have with Cooper Cup, I don't understand how this happened. I'll have to read more into
I
it.
mean, yeah. I don't
Seattle
know.
makes sense. They lost DK.
Bring in, yeah.
They have a young guy. They
and
brought
get
in a
brought
better
in Sam,
receiver.
yeah, it's brought in Sam Donald too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the Rams are doing, but if anybody can make it work, McVay is a genius offensively.
I think it'll work.
Yeah.
I just don't know what all that Cooper Cup drama was.
Got you.
And then you just signed a guy in the same part of his career
Yeah.
who's a different type of receiver, but if anything, more like the young one you have now.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe Mike will have a take on it next week.
Hopefully, we need him back. Where you at, Michael J?
Yeah.
Tax season's almost over.
The other move that I think we can have a little bit of fun with and talk more about is Jameis Winston to the Giants. So his contract obviously was up at the end of the season, and so he was down and at the Super Bowl interviewing from Louisiana. But he had this part with Sirianni, which I thought was hilarious. It was like almost an interview. What do you think my strengths are? Where can I sign? I'm really looking for a job. And Sirianni entertained it, but obviously with the Super Bowl ahead, isn't going to be like, hey, I'll sign you as a backup quarterback. So, but they were going back and forth. Sirianni telling him he loves his character and his game and all that stuff. So I think it will be funny to see him on the Giants. I'm going to look out for their interactions. I don't know if they're close. I'd assume they're not, but Jameis is a great guy, and so is Nick, and they're both down for a little bit of fun and being a little bit off script as far as professionalism is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy I get to watch Jameis twice a year for sure. Otherwise, I mean, I try to put him on even if he's going to lose, but with the Giants, I'll have to watch him when the Eagles play.
1,000%. I can't wait to watch that game. I think it's going to breathe some fresh air into that franchise. Like, they need someone fun, someone who's going to get people excited to go to Giants games again. And I think he'll provide that. Like he may score for the Giants, he may score for the other team, but he's going to do something that'll get you up out of your seat.
Malik Neighbor's going to have a big year, in my opinion.
And
oh yeah.
So I'm excited to see what Jameis can bring to New York. I hope he gets that starting job. I don't know who else they got there.
Or they could they could draft
and give them some time to work in a rookie quarterback into their system.
Yeah,
like even Tom Brady's a big proponent of giving players some time to grow. We know they played at a high level in college, but the NFL is a little bit different.
He was behind Drew Bledsoe.
Right, exactly. And he, like I said, he's a big proponent. Like even Mahomes, like he stood behind Alex Smith to like get a veteran in there that can play for 1 or 2 years, teach them how to be a pro quarterback, how to be a pro player, do the right things. And Jameis is a fun guy, and like I feel like he's got good energy, and he can lead the next guy on to carry the torch. But
yeah, that's a good point. Like the Giants aren't necessarily.
They're not going to win now.
To win, but they have some good talent and young talent in particular, especially their weapons. So he's a potentially a good segue. It's
great for the locker room too.
Here's how good we can be. I'm gonna also throw 30 picks this year, so we're not gonna win.
Yeah,
but like I can throw the ball well. I'll show you how good you can be.
Right,
Sanders or whoever, Cam Ward. Eventually, they're gonna be the quarterback. Maybe even by the end of the year. But I think it keeps the locker room. He's going to keep the locker room in a good place.
1,000%.
He's going to win some games and kind of show some potential of the team. maybe a good segue for a year or two before the Giants really have enough pieces to compete.
Exactly. So all in all, great signing for the great signing for the Giants, who have not had the best couple of off seasons. And hopefully, I don't know if he'll turn things around, but maybe he gets the ball started.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it is off season, so it's not like there's a ton to cover, but we've been on NFL for a little bit. I think we can wrap up quickly with some golf and some hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey, super short. I don't have any major news. Playoffs are coming though.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Oilers this year
To win it all.
Yeah, they are not like necessarily the favorite.
Weren't they in the finals last year?
They were.
Okay.
I think that's why I have them.
Mm-hmm.
I think McDavid is going to will them to win it this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's very even. I would say there's I'm not exactly sure who they are, but I just saw a list of the it actually was basketball first, and it was percent odds to win. And OKC's way up there, and Cleveland's up there,
Mm-hmm.
but OKC's by far and away the top. And I think it was Boston, Lakers, and Nuggets.
Yeah, I think not to go back into basketball, but
Mm-hmm.
this is the first time since like the last 2 years where Boston isn't the favorite to win the title now.
Oh yeah. They still probably will.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was like 20% and then 14 and then 12 and then 6, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In the NHL, the Oilers were the 6th or 7th best odds,
Mm-hmm.
but they were at 8%. Number 1 was 14%.
Oh shit.
So like you got through the whole top 10, and even 10 was like 7%.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a very competitive playoffs.
They always are, dude.
I'll have to do more research to share with the fans, but
Yeah.
I got the Oilers going because of McDavid.
Okay.
But anyway, the main story here, as Ovechkin's chase for Gretzky.
Yep. Keep you guys updated.
I think there are roughly 7 or so games left.
Okay.
And he is about 7 goals, or not about, he is 7 goals
Yeah.
away from breaking the record. So he's going to do it because he'll play next year if he has to.
Yeah.
He's going to break that record. I remember when we brought this up in the beginning of the NHL season, it was questionable because he was at like between 25 and 30 goals away, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good year of scoring. And he is 39 years old. So he's about at the end of his career. I think Gretzky played till 38 or 39 as well.
Okay.
So similar longevity. Ovechkin is playing better at this point, and it's kind of like a Jordan LeBron thing,
Yeah.
where Jordan played till 40.
Right.
He was averaging like 20 points 4 and 4 ish. And people were like dumbfounded that was possible.
Yeah.
Now here comes LeBron doubling that and then averaging 25 or 6. But anyway, Ovechkin's going to break that record.
Too.
It's probably not something you love to see either, being a Sid the Kid guy, because
Yeah.
it's going to have a lot of people saying Ovechkin was a better player than
Yeah.
Sidney Crosby. I don't know if that's true.
Probably individually, yeah.
You
But
think so?
obviously Crosby's played on a better team. And the Capitals were just like in the sunken place for forever until they won the championship a few years ago. So
Yeah. I guess that's a good point, but I hope Sidney Crosby's legacy, as much as I hate the Penguins, I don't even know, like I'm not even the biggest hockey or fly, like I'd say I'm not even the biggest Flyers fan. Well, am I? Because I loved like Peter Forsberg, Mark Recchi, Eric Lindros, John LeClaire.
that's your team if you do watch
Bronner.
hockey, and it's home team.
Like I like the Sharks, I like the Lightning growing up, all that stuff. Anyway, I hate the Penguins for some reason, but I don't want
Because they're in PA.
I don't want Sid's legacy to get overshined by Ovechkin.
I don't think you will. I think
Yeah.
we'll talk about the two guys
They're
that
two of the best
carried
players
the torch for the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then let's wrap it up with some Rory McIlroy. Ave, you saw what happened this weekend?
I didn't, but Mike was telling me this story when we were playing Rivals the other night, so I will bring it to the podcast. But they're playing a tournament. I think it's the Players Championship down in Tampa, and we run into some weather on the Sunday when the tournament's supposed to be finishing up. And Rory's tied with somebody going into that day. They postponed the event for that Sunday, and they try to play later in the day. The sun's going down, blah blah blah. They can't finish the day, and like I've never seen this, but they went to a Monday playoff, and Rory came up victorious, which was pretty cool. But Rory wins the Players Championship down in Florida somewhere, but a Monday playoff.
He's
They
been
have
playing better
TPC
recently.
Sawgrass,
CPC Sawgrass is what was going on.
and he won 4.5 million.
Sheesh,
Wow.
that's not bad for a weekend.
I would take that.
Me
And you
too.
know who posted that?
Hoomst.
Who my resource was?
Sideline banter.
The Irish Sun.
Oh,
What?
Oh, because
Because he's from Ireland. They're probably so proud of him.
Yeah, as they should be. He's one of them. He's
Okay.
one of one.
Is it E?
What?
M-C-E,
How do you spell McElroy? No.
Right? Oh.
Another. It's not even a vowel.
Goal. It's capital M, lowercase c,
Yes.
and then L.
2 L's. McElroy wins it in a playoff.
Actually, if you think about that, you say it correctly with the accent.
McElroy.
Yeah.
Rory McElroy.
Yeah.
Dude, my Irish accent turns African real fast. It's hilarious.
My
Please,
African
have
accent
you ever
turns
gone to
Irish.
Ireland?
I've never been to Ireland now.
I think we should go. I think you'd like it a
You'd
lot.
like a Guinness from there.
Dude, I love the drink.
And golfing
drink some
there.
alcohol drink some beer with the locals.
Even I drank a Guinness there.
Did you? How was it?
It was very coffee.
Yeah.
Esque.
Yeah. It's very heavy.
Yeah, it is
Dude,
really heavy.
Dude, Africans drink. Do you ever drink an extra stout? That's what the Africans drink, bro.
Beer?
Yeah, it's Guinness. It's just like more alcohol in it.
Interesting.
It's
Have you ever had an Irish coffee?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
All right,
Good
well,
combo.
time for the 2-minute drill.
Oh,
Those.
I'm ready if you want me to filibuster.
Yeah.
You can go.
you go.
Mine's a little weird, but I think it's fun. I saw this post. I didn't have another 2-minute drill, but it was a starting 11 for. It was a starting 11 if it was made out of animals.
Oh, I've seen
in
this.
the animal
Yeah.
kingdom. So, do you remember it? Am I gonna? Be
I know the
boring?
wingers were like cheetah and something else.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll start with cheetah. So
I know the striker.
the
was.
number 11 on the right wing is the cheetah.
Yeah.
The number 7 on the left wing is an eagle.
Okay.
The striker number 9 is a tiger.
Oh, this is a different one. The striker that I saw was a giraffe.
Oh no, this is a tiger. The number 10 playmaking,
I would've made that
attacking
an eagle.
midfield, that's a fox. The center, the like box to box
Yeah.
mid is a horse. The
Yeah.
center defensive mid is a polar bear.
Mhm.
The right back is an orca, which I thought was creative and pretty fun. The left back is a gazelle.
Mhm.
The 2 center backs are a gorilla and a lion,
Gotcha.
and then the goalie's an octopus.
Octopus goalie, I love that. I would definitely put an eagle as my cam though, as a number 10 that just sees everything.
Maybe. I love the eagle at left wing,
Or an
though,
owl.
honestly. An owl would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But foxes are clever and crafty.
Yeah.
I think the fox has to be on the field.
Who's the striker? Is a lion,
The tiger.
tiger. I saw one with the giraffe, which I thought was funny, but he'd win every single header.
He would. He's definitely a poacher. So that's my 2-minute drill. Not sure you can keep all that in your head because I spoke it, but
I'll give we kind of glossed over this in the NFL segment, but my 2-minute drill will be the retirement of Brandon Graham. I don't know if we covered it.
We did not.
But that is an Eagles legend, 15 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles and 2 Lombardi trophies. He there's like a 9-minute video that is like part of it's his retirement speech, and like I still have not brought myself to watch it because like I can't believe that it's over. But BG, one of the greatest Eagles of all time, I'm gonna get his Super Bowl jersey at some point, but it's all sold out. But shout out to BG, legendary Eagle, strip sack, and
best trash talker.
Yeah, best
It's
trash
so
talker.
funny.
So much energy. He was out this season for like the last 6 or 7 games, came back for the Super Bowl, and he got it done. BG,
Gotta love
Philadelphia
him.
legend.
Notably Juan's favorite player.
Graham.
Graham. Brandon Graham.
That'll be
Yeah.
my 2 minutes though.
I think that we said a lot of really great ones, like with what's his face? I can't remember it now, but they're actually playing right now.
Amir Khan.
Yep. And then George Foreman. One that came to
peace
mind
to
as
the
like a
guy.
fun one is since we talked about MLB, their entire intro was Pokemon themed.
In Japan.
Yeah, it was
That's awesome.
really cool. You
Oh,
can
that's
watch
sick.
it.
I just learned how big of a company Pokemon is. I don't think I'm wrong when I say I'll be quick. They were going through gaming, the most valuable gaming franchises.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 was Call of Duty, 17 billion. Number 2 was Super Mario,
Okay.
30 billion. Pokemon, number 1, 90 billion. 3x number 2. Not only that, they then brought up Disney. Disney is worth 50 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon's almost worth double Disney.
Jesus Christ.
That's unreal. I can't believe that. I was like, something's wrong. I'm either hearing this incorrectly or not understanding. But
No, Pokemon's
Anyway.
big, and maybe we'll play it
Oh,
on
we
the
know
end,
it's that
but
big.
I'll let you guys watch this as we head out of here.
So there goes our 2-minute drills. Thank you everybody for tuning in to episode 32 and sharing the bants with us. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok and obviously Spotify. We now have YouTube videos. Woo! So go likes, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube videos. All 31 episodes, I think, are up.
They're up, yeah.
32 will be up, obviously, after it's posted to Spotify. And yeah, thanks again. We'll see you next week. See ya.